Today I'm going to talk about sourdough starter maintenance, how to keep it alive and how to manage it in a busy life, and how to make sure it's healthy and always ready to bake with. I'm also going to tell you how I maintain my starter on the kitchen counter, even if I don't bake every day. Shocking, I know. Hi, I'm Sune, and I'm a food geek. If you don't have an active sourdough starter, you should go watch my video on that. Once you've built your starter and it's good and active, you need to keep it alive. Contrary to popular belief, yeast is very hard to kill, and the only real threat is mold and fungus. The mold doesn't actually kill the yeast, but it does make the starter unusable since you don't want to bake bread with mold in it. Otherwise, the starter environment is so acidic that most bad bacteria really don't want to live there. If you see orange or pink colors in or on the starter, or it smells moldy, it's a sign that it's gone bad and you need to throw it out. Sour smells like smelly socks, cheese, and acetone or paint thinner are normal and to be expected. If you're new to this channel, I bake a lot of sourdough bread and I make delicious food from all over the world. I'm on a quest to get the most out of every ingredient, and my goal is to teach you how to do that in simple and understandable steps. So join me by subscribing and ringing the bell so you won't miss any future videos. So what do we do to keep a starter alive? Well, I first would recommend that every time you feed the starter, you wash your hands and use a fresh container and clean utensils. They don't have to be sterile, but good and clean. I know that lots of people use the same container again and again without cleaning it, but I just don't think it's worth the risk. If you bake every single day, maintenance is easy. Just keep your starter on your kitchen counter and feed it every day. If you bake maybe once a week, conventional wisdom tells us to refrigerate the starter. The yeast becomes dormant while the starter is cold, so when you need to use it first, you need to let it come up to room temperature, and then you have to feed it a few times, from 1 to 3 times depending on your starter strength. It should double for it to be ready, but if it triples or more, that's even better. When a sourdough starter is hungry, a brownish liquid will pool on top of the starter. This is called hooch and is a byproduct of the yeast digesting the proteins in the flour. Just stir it back in before feeding. Also note that the longer it's been since you fed the starter, the darker the liquid will get. Don't worry, it's not a problem. I've revived a starter that had been in the fridge for a year, and it really looked quite disgusting before I fed it. It was fine and grew to triple the size in 2 feedings. If you bake less often than once a week, conventional wisdom tells us to refrigerate the starter and feed it once per week. And here's the kicker. I want to challenge conventional wisdom on both those 2 things. Before I explain this, I want you to back up your starter. I'm an IT professional by trade, and we have a saying, real men don't take backups, they just cry a lot. So what I want you to do now is feed your starter so you have 150 grams of starter. Then let it grow to its peak. Then take 50 grams and put it in a sealed container and store that in your fridge. I use wet jars with a rubber gasket. Even though it's sealed, it can still burp itself, so you're not in any danger of the container cracking or breaking because of the pressure building inside. Then take another 50 grams and smear it on a piece of parchment paper and let it dry. This usually takes around 24 hours unless you live in a very humid environment, but just wait until it's completely dry. Then break up the pieces and store them in a plastic bag at room temperature. This dried starter can be used to revive your starter, and I'll tell you more about this later in the video. The last 50 grams is your active starter, but in case something goes wrong, you can always get back to your precious starter. Oh, precious. All right, back to how I maintain my starter. I have my sourdough starter on my kitchen counter at all times, even when I'm not baking. After I build a levain or use the starter in a dough, I'll just leave around 25 to 50 grams of starter until the next time I need it. I then just leave it on the counter and feed it once I need it, and it'll be in tip-top shape. I've never had it go bad on me. The longest I've gone without feeding it on the counter was a whole month. For me, it's much, much easier than pulling it in and out of the fridge, and it's much easier to keep the starter nice and strong this way. Let me know in the comments what way you keep your starter nice and healthy. If worst comes to worst and you need to revive a dried starter, that's super easy. Just weigh your dried starter and add the same amount of water by weight. Mix it really well until the dried starter has been completely dissolved. Then feed the mixture with double the amount of starter and flour. So if you have 20 grams of dried starter, you dissolve that in 20 grams of water. Then you feed it 40 grams of flour and 40 grams of water and mix it really well. Then you leave it for 6 hours somewhere warm, around 28 degrees Celsius, that's about 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you feed it again. It should now start to grow over the course of the next 6 to 8 hours. Once it's peaked, you should feed it again until it's at least doubling. You can shorten this process by making sure that it's in a warm place between feedings. So, to summarize, if you bake every day, just feed your starter every day. If you bake once a week, keep your starter in the fridge and revive it in a few feedings before you bake. Or, if you bake once a week or less, just keep your starter on the counter and feed it when it's needed. There's bound to be one of these that'll fit in your sourdough baking schedule. I hope you learned something today. See you next time.